Guys, welcome back to my channel, guys. How you guys doing? We will be getting into the Premier League prediction for game week 6. And as you guys can see, there's a lot of great games in this week. You see that first one? You know that Chelsea versus Manchester City. We're talking about the Champions League final teams, and uh, City is trying to get their revenge on Chelsea because Chelsea they beat them, I would say, at least 2 times, if it's not three, against Tuchel. And Pep can't get one over Tuchel, and he has to get revenge. And people need to stop making excuses for Pep. Oh, he left. Chelsea were lucky. Pep didn't play two DMs. Bro, nobody wants to hear none of that because he had the option to play his players. He decided not to play the two DMs. And people that say that is kind of the people that hate on Chelsea. You know, that's a lot of Chelsea hate, and people need to tone that down a little bit and give Chelsea their props. Tuchel is a great world class coach, and the man is doing miracles when it comes to since he came to Chelsea. You know, I can't even lie. I had my doubts on him before he came to Chelsea, but hey, I guess he shut down all the doubters, and the man just won them the Champions League in I would say 5 months. So let's get to this game. Chelsea at this moment in time, they're hold up, give me 1 second, people. Let me get the Premier League table right now. So as you guys can see right now, Chelsea is top of the Premier League table right now at this moment in time, and they're flying, people. They're looking a team that cannot lose a game. Even when they were 10 men, Liverpool couldn't break them down. This team, their defense is very solid, and it's a team that knows how to play defense. And the points prove themselves. You know, this team that is a team that has a lot of aspirations to win the Premier League. And Manchester City right now they sit fifth, but that's not even a big problem right now because this Manchester City they can start getting wins like this, like that, and they're gonna be back to winning ways. So who do I see? Who do I see winning this game? I think Manchester City is gonna win this game. I think this is the game they get their revenge, and Pep gets one up on Tuchel to Shell. But the thing is, Chelsea can easily win this game, easily, because they're a great club, great defense, great offense, and you never know who wins this game. You know, it can go either way. But if I was to predict a winner in this game, I'm gonna predict that Manchester City is gonna win this game, and it's gonna be a 1-0. I'm gonna call it, people. It's gonna be a 1-0 game. It's not gonna be a high scoring game because both teams play great defense. But I think Manchester City is gonna get the respect back a bit because this is a great team. They're the champions, and people need to respect them. There's a lot of people that are talking shit about them. So, all right, let's move on to the next game. Manchester United versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa so far this season they didn't have the best of starts. As you guys can see, they sit at 10th after 5 games, 7 points from 5 games. You know, it's not the greatest of starts, but is an okay one. Is you can come back to the winning ways, and I kind of understand not having Martinez is kind of hindering them. I watched yesterday the Chelsea versus Aston Villa in the FA Cup, and you know that their backup keeper he's kind of not that great, and Manchester United is flying right now. They're a team that has a high chemistry and high, like they're motivated highly right now. I know they lost yesterday to West Ham, but hey, they didn't play their heavy hitters, and I think Aston Villa is gonna lose this game. But I can see Aston Villa playing very very good game right now in this moment in time. Aston Villa is creating decent amount of chances. I remember they out XG Chelsea when they played them, but hey, they just need to start to get wins together. But I think this game is one of those games that they're not gonna be getting the win. People, let's be honest, they're not gonna be getting the win. I'm gonna call it. this is gonna be a 2-1 win to Manchester United. Hey, Ronaldo is gonna score, man. The man is looking very, very good so far. He's looking very, very good. Let's move to the next one. Leicester versus Burnley. People, so far Leicester, they're not looking like the team that got fifth back-to-back years. So far, they're not having a very good season, people. Low-key people are not seeing them being this bad, but people are not talking about it. As you can see right there, they're having as worse of a season as Arsenal, but Arsenal, everybody keeps hammering us and they're talking about, hey, Arsenal started the season bad, we lost the first 3 games. But as you guys can see, also Leicester lost 3 games so far. And when you put in context that we played Chelsea and City in those run of 3 losses back to backs, then you would understand that we played harder teams. I know Leicester played City, but they had much easier games for them, like compared to Arsenal. And as you guys can see, they didn't start the season so well. But them playing against Burnley is a very good game for them because Burnley is also looking terrible. I think Burnley did not win any games yet in the season, so this is a very good opportunity for Leicester to get wins and start the season, because so far this is not a great start. 6 points from 5 games. That means you still didn't start your season. So I think this can be a good start for them. Burnley is a team that, yes, their defense is pretty good, but they're pretty toothless in the offense. And I think I'm gonna predict a 2-0 win to Leicester, man. 2-0 to Leicester. Leicester need to start winning, man, because the season is kind of slipping. Everton versus Norwich. Everton is a team that is flying right now. They're looking good. But as I predicted last week that they're gonna lose to Aston Villa, I remember there's a guy in the comments, he was hammering me, like I think he was an Everton fan, and he was telling me how my prediction was kind of out of order. But I just I just had a feeling that Aston Villa is gonna beat Everton, because Everton, they started the season very well, but that's what they did last year as well. Last year they started the season very hot, but they came down back to earth. Right now, this game they're gonna win this game because they're playing Norwich. Norwich is the worst team in the league right now. But when it comes to an overall, I can see them coming down because they were very, very hot. And the player that contributed to a lot of that was Demarai Gray, and the man was not missing anything. He was hitting anything that came his way, any shot he hit on the target, he was scoring. So they will come down to earth, but when it comes to this game, they're gonna be winning. I'm gonna predict a 3-0 win to Everton. You know what? I'm gonna say 3-1 because Norwich, their defense is their offense is kind of decent. Norwich, and I'm gonna predict a 3-1 win to Everton. Hey, they're gonna win this. But it all depends on if they get one of Richarlison or DCL back. I think DCL is he's injured. I think he's not gonna be back. If Richarlison plays, I think they're gonna be okay. All right, Leeds versus West Ham. That's the next game we need to get to. Leeds versus West Ham. Hey, that's a great game. Two teams that they're in the other end of the spectrum right now. As you can see, West Ham, they started decently so far, and Leeds, they're down here. They still did not win any games. They still have 0 wins. So Leeds is a team that's looking for wins, but I think they're gonna wait longer to get the win, because Leeds, they have a lot of injuries and they started the season bad. And I think this game that's gonna continue going, because West Ham is a team that's like they're hot, and is a team that understands what they need to do. Their offense is great. Their defense is kind of worse than last year, but they're okay, defensively. I can see Leeds scoring, but I just don't see Leeds winning this game. Hey, who knows? You never know. Those two teams, they're much closer in quality than the table betrays right now. But I think with the bad form when it comes to Leeds and the injuries, I think West Ham is going to take advantage of them, and I think they're going to lose because Leeds defensively, they're terrible. And West Ham with Antonio coming back, that man is a bully. And I heard Leeds, they're gonna play Kevin Phillips as a center back with Cooper. So that's not a good center back partnership. I like Kevin Phillips, but he's not a center back. So I think Antonio is going to take advantage of that. So I'm going to predict a 2-0. No, no, no. It can't be a nil because Leeds, I think offensively they're pretty good. It all depends if Rafinha plays because Pamper is not going to play. They said he's injured. So if Rafinha plays, I think this score is going to be 2-1. I think it's going to be 2-1. But if Rafinha doesn't play, 2-0 to West Ham. All right, next game, Watford versus Newcastle. This is a great game for both teams. Both of the teams, one of them can take advantage of this, but it all depends because like you can never know who can win this kind of game because both teams they're kind of shaking so far. One of them is a team that just got promoted, and the other team is Newcastle, who always struggles and is down there in the relegation battle. Like Newcastle so far defensively they're pretty terrible, and Watford I can see them taking advantage of Newcastle. Boy like um, Sar, he's very good, a lot of flair, dribbles, knows where the back of the net is. He's a very creative player as well. So I can see them taking advantage of Newcastle, but Newcastle also can be winning this game. But the problem with Newcastle is they're missing Callum Wilson, and that guy is their only attack. He's their main man, and without him, normally they struggle. So right now, with him missing and them being terrible defensively, I think Watford is gonna get this game. I think they're gonna win this game. Sam Maximan is looking very, very, very good this season. He's. I think the man might be aiming for a move because he's playing like a man possessed. So this game can go either way. But if I'm gonna put my money on it, I'm gonna say Watford is gonna win this game, and I'm gonna predict a. mm, I'm gonna predict a. You know what? I think this game is gonna be a tie. Thinking about it right now, I think this game is going to be a high tie. I think it's going to be a 2-2. I'm going to predict a 2-2 because it's a very close competition between the two teams. One team is not better than the other, and they're both defensively not that great. They're both offensively decent. So I'm going to predict a 2-2 draw. Next game, Brentford versus Liverpool. Guys, Liverpool so far is looking like the team that won the Champions League and that was a Premier League champions with 98 points. They're looking very, very, very good. Amazing. Because so far they tied one game, and the game they tied it was with Chelsea. Them and Chelsea are exactly the same. The only goals they conceded it was against each other, but every single game they had clean sheets. So both teams had 4 clean sheets so far, and they scored 12 goals and they conceded a single goal, and they're both looking amazing. But when it comes to Liverpool, Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think this year he came out with a vengeance. He said, "Hey, people, you're not gonna forget who I am. I'm Trent Alexander-Arnold," and the boy is balling right now. And Salah is Salah. He does what he does. He's always great. And Mane is, it looks like this is gonna be a rebound season for him. He's looking much much better than last year. So Liverpool is looking amazing. Brentford is a team that's looking great defensively, but the problem is this is gonna be a team that Liverpool is too good for them per se, and I think they're gonna lose this game. I think this game is gonna be. I'm gonna predict a 3. You know what? Brentford defensively they're pretty good, but I think this is the game they're gonna be found out a bit because Liverpool is looking very great right now. I'm gonna predict a 3-0 win to Liverpool, man. I know that's kind of crazy with the Brentford defense, but I think this is the game they're gonna be found out. Just how they did Wolves. They're gonna be done just how they were done Wolves. So, let's move on from it. Southampton versus Wolves. Southampton is a team that's defensively terrible. It's kind of a crazy thing to say after they just tied with City and kept a clean sheet against City. But I think Wolves, I always talk about it. Great team, underlying stat, great, but they just can't hit nothing, man. They cannot hit nothing. And they're struggling a bit. And Southampton is struggling too. Because Southampton, defensively they're terrible, and offensively they're not even that great. They're good at pressing, but other than that, they're not good at nothing much. So I'm gonna predict I think Wolves is gonna win this one. I'm gonna predict a 2-1 win to Wolves, because Wolves, they're kind of looking good underlining numbers, but I think this is the rebound game after they lost to Brentford, embarrassed. So I'm gonna predict a Wolves win 2-1. Arsenal versus Tottenham. Guys, check out my preview. I'm gonna do a preview for the Arsenal game. So let's move on to the next one. Crystal Palace versus Brighton. Middle of the table teams. Brighton so far started the season amazingly, but I think Brighton, they're kind of scraping the wins. Last year they were underperforming, and this year they're overperforming by a lot. So I think this game is gonna be I'm gonna predict a draw, because both teams are looking good. Brighton is looking good defensively, and Crystal Palace is looking good, man. They're getting some good wins. So I'm gonna predict a 1-1 draw between Crystal Palace and Brighton. Both teams, this season they have ambitions to at least finish in the top 10. I think Brighton will finish in the top 10. I think Crystal Palace is not gonna have enough, but I think they're gonna finish somewhere between 13 and 14. And a draw between this game, so far in this week we have a lot of great games, man. And definitely I'll be watching a couple of them. And this was my prediction for the Premier League game week 6. So people, if you like the video, please, I would appreciate if you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for me and hit the bell. And people, follow me on Twitter. It's going to be in the description. Until next time, people, peace.